Hello, welcome in everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Wednesday, April the 17th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This could resonate at any point in time. So just take what resonates and leave behind the rest. And so I think right now we're addressing issues, relationship issues in the energy. We have the moon is now in Leo. It is going to be in opposition to Pluto and Aquarius. And so this is creating some very intense emotional turmoil. And this is at a degree placement of 202. Which I find very fascinating. And so there's going to likely be dramatic mood swings, especially if you have any major placements in Leo, like your big three in Leo. We have Venus in Aries conjunct the North Node in Aries today at 15 degrees 11, which is like karmic justice, connected to some trauma-bonded relationships. I was shown like the devil with the Justice card. And so I feel there's been like this contemplation going on for at least the last year, maybe even the last couple of years, and the energy today is saying making a judgment call, making a final judgment call. So I do feel there's some type of relationship here where maybe for the last year or so there's been a lot of power struggles. And so right now I feel these energies are combining in the cosmos to create this forced major life change when it comes to our feelings, our behavior patterns. And so realization is the energy coming through, realization. And so the fall of our spirit kind of happens when we come into this realization of our physical form. So before I go any further, guys, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos. It helps to circulate the content. It helps the channel to grow. And it's just a nice, free, easy way to show me some support. It encourages me to keep putting out content. But right now I feel there's like an abundance of light codes, an abundance of wisdom coming in. And what I wrote was wisdom can be like acid, which instantly eats away anything false. And so this realization could come in the form of maybe communication with a spirit guide, or just having a conversation with a friend, or maybe you've recently booked a session with somebody. But I feel right now the energies are eating away anything false. And so right now we're blending personal consciousness with universal consciousness, and we are in the year of the Great Awakening. And so when we realize our oneness with God or source or whatever it is you call it, then we realize our unity with all of humanity, and it is a very humbling experience. And so the most awakened souls on the planet have this attitude that is completely reversed to most of society's standards, because we do identify ourselves with the oneness or the one reality, so to speak. And so a lot of us who are awakened, that have done the rewiring of the behavioral patterns, our subconscious minds are now dominated by our true spiritual will. And we talk about free will on the journey all the time, but true spiritual will is really living a life of service. And so right now I feel a major judgment call. So be prepared for some drama, all while getting ready to embrace the new. But let's jump in with some cards. Please feel free to check out the membership side of the channel. I go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and we do all kinds of bonus content over on the membership side. So if you'd like to be a channel member, I'd love to have you join us over on the other side. Also, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, please feel free to check out the new webpage below. But let's jump in with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck to start. Look at that. Purge and cleanse and wounding. We've got a lot of heavy Chiron aspects playing out, which is the wounded healer. And so many of us are going through almost like a Christ conscious crisis, or a self-identity crisis. And so that eclipse energy come in and really highlighted what in your life needs to be purged, what needs to be cleansed when it comes to negative people, negative relationships. It could be romantic, it could be work, it could be family. And so these people might be connected to triggering behaviors. Whatever needs to be purged, this is connected to some wounds. This could be a childhood wound, this could be a past life wound, but these wounds have really shaped your view of your current reality. And so there is a challenging relationship dynamic here that needs to be recognized. That maybe the two of you came into a soul agreement to trigger these wounds to the surface, but I do feel there's a purging and a cleansing of a very challenging relationship, whether that be a cycle or a past memory, or actually somebody that you're dealing with right now currently in the physical. But let's get into it. Disconnect. Disconnect your ego, too, from an outcome, I think, is a big message. 505. Divine intervention. So let's get into it. This reading is not sign-specific, guys, but I will call out any zodiac signs that I do feel need mentioning throughout the reading. Deepening relationship to self. This one, this peeker wants to come out, so we'll see what that is. All of this pile right here kind of just fell out in reverse. So I feel somebody here is really struggling to dismiss the ego. So that could be Leo moon energy, right? That's a lot of pride. That's a lot of ego. And so we get relationship to self, deepening relationship to self in reversed. We got the teacher in reverse. We got psychic abilities in reverse, and spend time alone in reverse. We've got somebody here that is afraid to be alone, is what I'm feeling. Somebody here that really doesn't understand what motivates them, their soul's language. And so somebody here is really operating out of their lower ego, and definitely not coming from a place of self-love. So we've got somebody here so afraid to disconnect, so afraid to spend time alone and take it within. And I do feel this is a block to some psychic abilities. What do we get here? We get transformation. And so the shedding, right? The great shedding, the great transformation. And on the bottom of the deck, we get the higher self energy. So I feel somebody here lacks gratefulness, lacks joy, lacks compassion. They are not coming from a place of love for all that is. They're definitely coming from a place of ego. So you might have to transform and release this person, like transform your life and release this person. You might be this person that is having, like, it just feels like a raging fit. Somebody here is about to have a raging fit. There could also be like a mirror energy, right? Because if we were to flip it around, the reversal would be somebody that quite enjoys spending time alone, that has taken the journey within. And right now it is an inner journey. And so any projections by other people is just a mirror to show you how much you transformed your life. But I do feel there's like a drama queen here that needs to be released in order for you to step into your highest purpose. And so demonstrate love. We all walk different timelines. And so somebody here is breaking free, breaking through. It's interesting. I did a personal one-on-one session yesterday, and that Breakaway song by Kelly Clarkson came through, and that's been coming through loud for me too. Break away. So break away from this situation, transform your life, because I think your ancestors are saying it's time to move on. It's time to let this fade away, because there's somebody here that is just unwilling to tap in. They don't see life as a gift. I just feel like a negative ninny coming through. And maybe you're a teacher. I just feel somebody here is teaching you in a very negative way. So there's some type of plutonic karmic relationship playing out here. So let's jump in with the Dragon Oracle, because we are in the year of the dragon, and I feel somebody here has to slay a dragon. So the energies today are really helping you burn up this lower energy or entity around you. You are safe and protected. So trust that you are safe and protected, because right now there's a clearing away for your soul path. And so we cut the deck. We do have somebody here being bathed in divine feminine light. You could be this divine feminine. You could be assisting another on their awakening journey. But I feel a divine feminine coming into balance. That's practice peace. That's practice cooperation, and is really in a state of expansion. So maybe your light is shining down, helping somebody burn up some karma, but I feel like the burning of some karma coming through. So let's see what else needs to come through. Beautiful. Okay, bottom of the deck, we get the water dragon. So you could be dealing with a water sign, a Taurus, or you could be dealing with Taurus. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I don't know where Taurus came through. But I feel somebody's gone round and round and round in a spiral of obstacles in the same cycle with somebody, and nothing is changing. So developing. Somebody here is being encouraged to answer the call, to develop their psychic abilities, and to go with the flow. And so I picked up the other one below it, and we've got an air and water dragon. So there's a lot of higher heart energies coming through. Somebody here I feel is just beginning the opening path to enlightenment. And so how can you expand? I do feel some type of an illumination coming through with the crown chakra. And so we get silver lunar dragon and silver dragon. And we got the rose pink dragon, so heart healing. Somebody here is being prepared through their heart to connect to the higher facets of the higher cosmic Christ codes, is what it feels like. So open your heart to this love. and connect with the love of the universe. That's interesting that that come out, because I was kind of shown the blending. And so somebody here is definitely being bathed in some higher divine feminine light. And I do feel there is a divine feminine here that has access to untapped cosmic resources or power. And maybe this is being illuminated to somebody that is in this state of, I'm not going to change. I don't want to change. I don't believe in spirit. But I feel somebody is getting a rude awakening is kind of what it feels like here. So let's jump in with some cards. Let's see what else needs to come through with the tarot. Look at that. Do not delude yourself. Somebody here has created a romantic illusion about a happily ever after, and there's a need to diminish any self-sabotaging behaviors. And so we get, could be a Venus in Aquarius. You could be dealing with somebody with prominent Aquarius. But the Pisces energy, Mars in Pisces, is saying, hey, it's time to get real about a situation here. And Mars in Pisces is like underhanded war tactics, is what I want to say. Underhanded war tactics. So I think for about the last year, you've been trying to see the light with that Five of Swords. And so somebody here is definitely feeling foolish. I feel for about the last year, I think somebody has really been deluding themselves about a situation. There's a need to go within. There's a need to receive insights. And I feel the Uranus energy. We do have, I believe it's Jupiter conjunct Uranus coming up here on the weekend. That's a wake-up call. And so somebody here, I feel, is definitely feeling foolish, like a sacred clown. There's been so much resistance to the new higher path. And I think because of ego. So let's do 9 cards. Let's see what else needs to come through. That was Aries energy with the Fool, by the way. So let's do it, guys. Let's see what needs to come through today. So I do think there is an ending. There is an ending. There is a separation. I think the doorway is about to close, and that's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth with the Palace of Swords. The holy truth. And so there is an ending here. And I do feel there's some type of foundation or connection that has really caused a lot of delays and challenges. And I do feel maybe even a huge loss of fortune. And so somebody here didn't listen to the winds of change, didn't listen to the fates, didn't listen to divine will, maybe operated out of free will. And now they're coming into the truth of their spiritual will is what it feels like. We get the Four of Cups. So we get Cancer energy. We did just have the moon in Cancer. And so there was a rebalancing, I feel, or is a rebalancing going on here. And maybe this is closing out a 6-year cycle. Something coming to a close that maybe started 6 years ago. Something coming to a dead stop that started 6 years ago, perhaps, or 4 years ago. Could be with a Cancer. And so there's that Taurus energy, the dead central energy. Now we get the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy, divine feminine. We do have a divine feminine coming through, bathed in light, going through a very intense spiritual awakening. This is self-actualization. There is a divine feminine here awakening to some time wasted in a connection, maybe for the past 4 years, really wanting that Ace of Cups, but all you got was this third party mess around. And so it's kind of time to go your own way and recognize where you've maybe hindered your own progress and growth from not wanting to go towards deepening that relationship to self. And so we do have a wounded healer coming through here. And I do feel a need to recognize where you have allowed your thoughts to dishonor you. And there's that Leo energy. So I do feel there is a divine feminine here. Like I said, it's like the flipping of the scales. So the overall energy is an Empress reverse. We've got a feminine here bottoming out. I feel going through an emotional breakdown, a very unfortunate turn of events, but everything is working out exactly as planned. So strong Libra energy coming through as well. Sagittarius energy, and I feel it's time to make a judgment call about a non-committal situation. We've got a Knight of Wands here. We've got a feminine here that really doesn't know her worth and her value, that needs to step into deepening a relationship to herself. And this is like a judgment call of releasing something that really isn't working. And that's what I see here. And so it's time to get honest with yourself. Is it really worth the fight? Is it really worth the drama? Because I think this has been a battle. This has been a struggle. This has been a very challenging, emotionally disconnected connection here. There's going to be an event or a shakeup. And I feel we get Saturn energy coming through. We get Leo. We get Mars. And then we get Aquarius. And so this is like the truths are being unveiled. So this is either you recognizing what needs to end and looking in the mirror. But I do feel this is unavoidable change. It's been avoided up until now. And there is going to be a breakdown of a false foundation. And there is going to be a process of soul retrieval. Third eye activation is what I'm feeling. And so there is an ending here. And there is a feminine being bathed in light. And so I do feel you spent a lot of sleepless nights worrying about this situation, looking back at the past. And now it's time to find your strength to break these chains and to go towards a new beginning, because either way the tower is going to fall. And if you don't leave a situation on your own, the universe is going to come and throw you out, because you're dealing with somebody that is not emotionally available. And when we keep going back to somebody that is not emotionally available, it's a loud warning that you don't love yourself. And so when we keep going back to somebody that doesn't love us, we don't love ourselves. So I think it's time to get honest. It's time to learn something new. You might have to lose it all and start from ground zero again, but at least you're going to be going towards truth. So there's a feminine here, I think, getting really honest with herself today, breaking free from maybe a long-standing commitment that at one point in time brought a lot of stability. I think you spent a lot of time trying to make things work and focus on what you can do to put in more effort, but it's time to cut something out here. So there is something here that is very imbalanced. So let's clarify the Six of Coins. There's just like a rebalancing here. So I think there's a need to recognize that there is a loveless situation here. I think you fought long and hard for something to work in your favor, and it's time to release a burden. I think it's just too heavy to keep carrying. It's time to allow a lesson to reach completion. Something here is coming full circle. You have all of the tools that you need to take a leap of faith, but you first have to drop the past baggage, and you have to go through this realignment in order to plant a seed in a new direction. So I think it's time to take the rose-colored glasses off. It's time to see a situation in its entirety, that you've got somebody here that just isn't emotionally invested, and it's time to turn your back and to go towards recognizing your worth and your value. And so I feel by the Scorpio full moon, there's going to be a breakdown, and I don't think this is an easy decision. I do think this is a conscious decision to recognize that you're not really honoring your worth and your value. So there is a major transformation going on here, without a doubt. So let's get a closing message. Let's see what else needs to come through. We're going to use the past life lesson deck. So somebody here I feel is a guide, or is becoming a guide, as they are definitely leaving an old cycle behind. We get the widow or the widower card. And so I do feel like you don't want to spend the rest of your days longing for somebody when it comes to an ending. I do feel there's like a father wound. So maybe you are dealing with, like, maybe your father is a widow and there's some type of pattern there. Maybe your father is longing for his spouse that has crossed over. But I do feel there's a need to address some type of pattern connected to a father wound, because you're definitely enslaved in this Five of Pentacles energy of feeling alone. And so there's a feminine here that is so afraid to go towards a solitary life. And so a high priestess does spend most of her time alone. And whether that's by circumstance or choice, a high priestess does spend most of her time alone. And I feel somebody's being forced into a state of solitude, and I don't think they're happy about it. I think they're going kicking and screaming. But it's like somebody here is at the mercy of the divine, is what it feels like. And so freedom is always a choice, but somebody here, I think, has tried to take away somebody's freedom. The harder we cling to somebody that is not invested in us, the more we are at the mercy of another. And so I do feel it's time to spend some time alone. I do feel somebody is going through some type of crown chakra activation or awakening, the crowning. And we all have the ability to be the heir to our own throne. And so this is about planting a seed for longevity. So I think we're in a time of fond reflection. What do we want to build in our life, to live something that will be fulfilling, to live a life that will be fulfilling? And so this is about expression of self. I do feel there's a need to recognize maybe where you've played into lustful temptations or desires, because lustful instant gratification will never ever fill that void that's lacking deep inside. So there is like a gamut of emotions surfacing, and I think somebody is not holding back and they are blasting it out there, but it will create some type of liberation. And so I think get ready to to earn a hard-earned life lesson or a hard-earned degree, and that's what I got for a message today, guys. I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, I highly encourage you to check the description box below, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.